Hey everyone. As you've probably noticed, I'm no longer doing weekly uploads for a variety of reasons. It seemed like I wasn't putting as much effort into each one, so I don't know if you guys know it felt that way, but I certainly did. It felt like an obligation, so I'm doing them less often, but it's one I have to do, but it's also one I want to do, so yeah. So counting down my top 10 movies of the year so far. I don't know how deep I'll get into each movie, so I'm just going to put out a blanket spoiler alert just to cover my ass. And yeah, let's do this. Starting off, number 10 is The Wrecking Crew. This movie was a fucking blast. This is exactly sometimes I'm just in a mood for like a popcorn movie, and this is exactly that. You have Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa as brothers who are investigating the death of their father, and Jason Momoa is kind of a fuck up, and Batista takes everything very seriously. So we have the odd couple pairing. They're both very charismatic. The story is a little thin, but there's enough of a story that it works, and the action is great. The comedy rarely misses.
Walter's dead, man.
And you join him right now if you don't give me that package.
I haven't talked to Walter since I was a kid, and whatever you're looking for, he wouldn't have sent it to me, okay? So just... Fuck, I can't go when you're watching me. Fucking weirdos. Okay, hey, ooh, easy, it's sharp. Whoa! Sword fight.
Off the top of my head, there's a fight where some gangs, I don't remember if they're Yakuza or some other crime group, but they show up at Jason Momoa's house while he's tipsy, if not outright hammered. And he still kicks their asses, and it's just such an epic fight scene.
You broke up into my house. Naruto over here put a sword in my neck, and now legally I'm allowed to kill both of you.
Just give us the fucking package!
Bro, I've had the worst day ever. My girl just broke up with me, okay? This other lady's trying to tell me that daddy is...
Shut up!
Now you fucking...
Shut the fuck up!
Like, this largely taking place inside of his house, and so, like, using that terrain, they do some interesting stuff with it.
What's up, Zuko?
A score is 3.5 out of 5. Number 9 is The Bride. The Bride! This was a weird one, but it was one I enjoyed. There's a very noticeable mix of different tones in this movie, and it doesn't always work, but it works most of the time.
Fuck it! Fuck it! Hey! Fuck it! Come on! Come on! Oh, fuck! I'm sorry! Oh, I didn't know it was you! Anyway. Oh, damn it! Can I take a look? I'm Frank.
Oh, fuck off, Frank. God.
The cast is solid. I have not seen Maggie Gyllenhaal's previous directorial work, The Lost Daughter, so I can't say if this level of quality is normal for her, but this is a solid film. Christian Bale is great, Peter Sarsgaard is solid, but Jessie Buckley is the star of the show here. She is delightful, both as Ida and then as the bride following her death and transformation. And in keeping with the tradition of the original Bride of Frankenstein, she also plays Mary Shelley. This time with a very different role than her role in Bride of Frankenstein. Here, Mary Shelley is like if the author was the villain. And It was weird at first, but honestly, it's kind of it's a very cool. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't remember, but whatever. Oh, and Penelope Cruz is also solid, and she and Peter Sarsgaard, they have such good chemistry. He is a detective. She is ostensibly his assistant slash receptionist, but it's pretty clear that she is actually the better detective of them, and she is only subservient to him because that's how things were back then. That was just what was expected at the time. We have Annette Bening as this version of Dr. Frankenstein. She's pretty great. And then we have Jake Gyllenhaal as Ronnie Reed, who is like a 20s and 30s film star that Frank looks up to. Leave it to Maggie Gyllenhaal to cast her brother as an in-universe film star. And also, he's not just a one-note character. He's a side character, but he has some depth to him, and not the good kind. Like, he has this charming presence when he's on screen in an in-universe movie, but then off the screen, he's kind of an upper-class twit, where he sees certain people as beneath him. And so is an interesting look into, I mean, even almost 100 years after this film takes place, there are still a lot of film stars who are like that. So, yeah. And yeah, this film is full of a lot of great social commentary like that. The updated setting also really helps this movie stand apart from the original. My score is 4 out of 5. Number 8 is Supergirl. This movie is a step down from Superman, but if this ends up being the worst of the new DCU, cool, I'm fine with that. This is, in terms of quality and impact, this is, I think a good comparison is like it's like the Incredible Hulk, where it's the second movie and it fails to live up to the expectations of the first movie. Now, there's been TV stuff in between Superman and this, but it's a good comparison. Shut up. Just like David Corenswet perfectly embodied Superman, Millie Alcock perfectly embodies Kara. And she puts it perfectly herself in the movie. Superman sees the good in everyone, and I see the truth. Yeah, it's about right. She is far more cynical, and she plays that perfectly.
Hi there.
Ikalata.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't I don't speak Kryptonian. I didn't never shoot. I wasn't raised there, so I wasn't raised there. Why am I talking louder? Let me help you.
It's Krypto, Sfora, Nini. Sfora.
It's a feisty little guy. It's cute. Is it okay if I... Watch your step there. Might be slippery, so...
Jason Momoa is utterly delightful as Lobo. I do wish that he had had more screen time and also a bit more plot relevance, but I'm not complaining. Every second he was on screen, the material was elevated. And Eve Ridley, I don't know, I have never seen this girl in anything else. I don't know if she's been in anything else, but she is holding her own with both Millie and Jason. Okay, at least according to Letterboxd, this is her first film. I don't know if she's done anything TV related. Hang on. Okay, it looks like she has been in some TV stuff. She was young Nimue in an episode of The Witcher. She was in Three Body Problem. So yeah, she's done some TV stuff. This is her first film, and she kills it. I also love that this movie kind of addresses the... So in Superman, there is the reveal that Superman's parents sent him to Earth to be a conqueror, and so that rubbed some people the wrong way. This movie actually addresses that, and it turns out, no, not all Kryptonians are like that. Those two are just weird. And we get Kara's parents, who are much more in line with how Clark's parents are normally portrayed, which was an interesting switch-up. Matthias, I don't know how you pronounce his last name. Schoenaerts, I don't know how to pronounce Belgian last names, so hopefully I didn't butcher it too badly. He makes for a solid villain. I'm not really a fan of the way it portrays people with body modifications as just inherently bad, but it doesn't take away from the film all that much. And yeah, this movie is just such a fun ride, and there's a scene I love. It's when there's been a setback, and Kara, in a film with a male protagonist, he probably would have, like, destroyed the room he was in or done something that would have caused damage. Instead, she flies up into space and just screams where no one can hear her, just to get it out, just to let out her frustration. And it's so powerful. I love it so much. My score is 4 out of 5. Number 7 is Mortal Kombat 2. I enjoyed the first new Mortal Kombat a hell of a lot, but this is just so much better. Like, this is what happens when the creative team actually listens to criticism. And I specifically mean constructive criticism, not just, oh, this is bullshit. Like, specific constructive criticism, they actually listened to it, and they have improved. For the people who weren't fans of Cole in the previous movie, he is no longer the protagonist. He is now a side character, and still gets to kick some ass. I was a little iffy on Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, because I just did not see him pulling off Johnny Cage as he's normally portrayed. And then I realized what they were going for, and this is not Johnny Cage as he is normally portrayed. This is Johnny Cage in like his late 40s, early 50s. He is a washed-up action star who is past his prime. And Carl Urban plays that to perfection. The real star here is Adeline Rudolph as Katana. She is the true hero of this film, and she fucking kills it. The returning cast are all great, and Martin Ford is just fantastic as Shao Kahn. Considering how bad Mortal Kombat Annihilation's portrayal of Shao Kahn was, this is just infinitely better. Yeah, the action is a step up. Like, each fight scene stands on its own. Each fight is unique, so none of them blends together. There are certain characters who get less screen time than they did in the previous movie, who I wish had been on screen more, but considering how many characters they had to juggle, it makes sense. And it's fine. The comedy is more consistent. You could tell a lot of the issues with the first movie were very much first-time directors still getting the hang of things, and so there is definitely some improvements there. Also, the portrayal of Lord Raiden is much closer to how his truer to the text is the term. In the first movie, he was just a hard-ass teacher, and I didn't hate it, but I know that's not how he's normally portrayed, and here, he is still a hard-ass teacher, but he shows more of a soft side this time around, and I like that. My score is 4 out of 5. Number 6 is Backrooms. I haven't seen all of Kane Parsons' stuff, like all of his Backroom stuff. I've seen... I don't remember. I watched the first 2 or 3. I think that was it. This is so fucking good. Oh my god. Goddamn, this is how you do character-driven horror. Now, I do wish there had been a little bit more horror in this horror movie, but other than that, I have no complaints. It feels authentically 90s, so well done there. Now, granted, I was not alive when this movie takes place. I was born in 98. But they do a good job of making you feel like you are not in the present day.
Yeah. Okay. What the fuck? Fuck. Pull me up. Fuck it. Fuck. What are you saying? There's someone down there.
We got you. What? Hey, slow down. Just breathe.
Just scared the shit off
Maybe it's okay. It's okay.
Fuck.
It's okay. It's okay.
What are you saying?
Here. Hey, deep
Dude, what kind
breath.
of fucking knot is this?
But yeah, this is very much a character-driven story, and that does come at the cost of some, like, mythology gags that I know some people were hoping for, but when you add in too much, like, it makes it more personal, and it makes the plot work. Like, if the big bad, if the heavy had been, like, another creature from the backrooms, then they would have had to find a way to connect that to the characters, and it might have felt forced, or it might not have worked at all. So yeah, what the decision they went with works for the story, and it works so goddamn well. And oh god, how do you pronounce this? Chiwetel. Okay, that does not help me. Okay, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, because one of them is British and one of them is Norwegian. Chiwetel Ejiofor and Renate Reinsve. I hope that wasn't too bad. Oh my god, they're so good. And considering they are both foreigners putting on American accents, yeah, their accents were pretty solid, as were their performances, and there's some good humor in here. Oh my god, like when at one point Clark is like having his employees help him shoot a commercial, and it is just so authentically cringy. He's hobbling around on a fake peg leg with his regular leg still plainly visible. Like, it's literally just a thing strapped to his knee, and his leg is bent, so his foot is hovering up a few inches above the ground. And you can see it the whole time. It's done as a oneer, which could be good if they were filmmakers, but they're not, so authentically, it looks like crap. And because he's having to do his whole spiel all at once in a single take, he starts getting out of breath. And I didn't even notice this in the film, but other people have pointed it out. He starts, like, you start noticing, like, visible sweat on his shirt, because of the, like, how he's hobbling around and trying to deliver this monologue, and then culminating in the crappy chair collapsing under his weight. It's just so authentically cringy, and it's so fucking funny. And then there's the horror, and the horror is largely character driven, and I don't want to spoil it because you should really just watch this yourself. The score is 4 out of 5. Number 5 is We Bury the Dead. This is not at all what I expected, but like in a really, really good way. This comes to us from Australian filmmaker Zach Hilditch, who, the only other thing of his I've seen is he did an adaptation of Stephen King's 1922, which is a slow burn that is absolutely dripping with atmosphere. And so is We Bury the Dead. This movie just stands out so much from other zombie movies. Like, This Is Not a Test, which also came out this year, just feels like a standard zombie movie. This is something different. This is, okay, first of all, so the most believable and realistic part of this movie is the fact that the zombies are caused by the United States accidentally setting off an experimental weapon off the coast of Tasmania. Oops! Considering all of the bullshit that's been going on for the last few years, zero suspension of disbelief required. And I say this as an American.
Tragic images continue to emerge following the US military's accidental deployment of an experimental weapon off the coast of Tasmania last week, which resulted in the decimation of Hobart and a total loss of life across the island. Protests in Washington, D.C. have escalated as pressure from the UN and the Australian Prime Minister to hold the US President to account has reached fever pitch. Just why news reporters can't go into the disaster zone is...
So yeah, as I said, this is a slow burn done properly. Daisy Ridley plays Ava, who volunteers to go in and do cleanup, essentially, following this disaster. But the real reason she's going is because her husband was there when the weapon detonated, and she wants to try to find him dead or alive. And that is what we're building towards for the whole movie. And everything she encounters along the way, just from basically, she is part of a group of volunteers who have to go in and find zombies so that military guys can come in and take care of them. And it's mainly just her and Brendan Thwaites as Clay. It's mainly just the two of them for a while, and at one point they split up, and she ends up going along with this other guy, Riley, who has a few screws loose. And then eventually, culminating with her eventually finding her husband. And, oh my god, this is very much character-driven slow burn done right. I've said that like 3 times now, but it bears repeating. It's so fucking good, man. My score is 4 out of 5. Number 4 is The Rip. I haven't seen most of Joe Carnahan's older stuff. I've seen The Grey a while ago. I've seen The A-Team, but don't really remember it. I've seen Smokin' Aces. Smokin' Aces is a lot of fun. But, like, he's on a roll in, like, the 2010s and 2020s. Like, this movie, Cop Shop, and Boss Level. That's a hell of, like, all very solid films. Even in this day and age where we know cops suck. Cops in general suck. And this movie doesn't try to hide that. It shows that, yes, there are good cops and there are bad cops. And it's a whole thing. It gets in. There is commentary there.
I mean, we all love to lecture and moralize, don't we? Make better decisions. Live a more honest life. Dejémoslo en las manos de Dios, ¿sí o qué? But God isn't gonna make the mortgage, is he? End of the month, bills are due. Medical bills. Lawyer fees. Funeral costs. So tell me, can you trade all that advice and prayer and good intention for cash?
No, I guess not. Desi, I guess not.
The main pull here is that it's finally Matt Damon and Ben Affleck sharing the screen together for like the first time in I don't even know how long it's been. And even their casting works because they spend a lot of the movie becoming increasingly antagonistic towards each other because of the movie is about they get a tip about illegal money being stored in this house where Sasha Calle lives. And there's this building tension where so a rip is like the illegal money. And one thing they get right is that in real life, when cops seize money like this, they are required to count it on site twice before they move it. So there's this growing sense that Matt Damon might want to steal this rip. And so there becomes this friction between them. And it's done so well.
When I asked you upstairs, how much was the Crime Stopper tip for? You said about $300,000.
That's right.
No, wrong. Because whoever just called on the phone said no one needs to die in there for $150K.
The guy on the phone said $150K?
Yeah. So why are you telling me it's twice that, man?
This movie, it's kind of like Patriot Day or David Fincher's The Killer, where there's not a lot of action. But when we do get the action, it's really good. There's a little action prologue, and then we don't really get any action for like the first half of the movie. But they do such a good job of like developing the characters and building tension that it never feels boring. And then of course we get the climax where there's more action, and that's awesome. Especially without spoiling anything, there are 2 fight scenes happening simultaneously. The parallels and the contrast between the two, it just makes it extra engaging, really. The score is 4 out of 5. Number 3 is Masters of the Universe. I'll be honest, 3 and 4 are pretty much neck and neck for me, but as of this recording, I like Masters of the Universe more. My god, this is so much fun. I've seen the original from the 80s with Dolph Lundgren. I don't really remember it, so do with that what you will. I love that, okay, minor spoiler, Dolph Lundgren has a cameo in this movie. And it even gets a little meta when it's implied to be like Adam's first time going to the gym. And Dolph Lundgren is like this guy, he literally goes up to him and says, "You're in my spot." Oh, sorry. Hey, any advice for the new guy? And like actually gives him some pretty good advice that he doesn't, movie shit. He doesn't understand it at first, but later he realizes what it actually means. It's like, oh. So yeah, that was a fun little nod, like a passing of the torch. Imagine my surprise when Jared Leto is actually really fucking good as Skeletor. It turns out if you want to make Jared Leto palatable, you need 3 things. Hide his face, modulate his voice a little bit, and give him a role that's not dead serious.
Evelyn. Evelyn.
Well said, Lord Skeletor. Poetry.
They're taking away his days done. With the new dawn, Britannia shall witness mine eyes. That's it. I finished.
Of course, my lord.
When I raise my fist like that, I'm done.
Yes.
That is the crescendo.
We'll know for the future, my lord.
In hindsight, that's probably why he was so good in David Fincher's Panic Room. Because he's allowed to, because he's not super serious. He's allowed to have comedic moments. And this is a very different character. Obviously, Skeletor is a very different character from that asshole. He's still a piece of shit. A good performance does not change that. He is still a piece of shit. And what the fuck was up with that cult bullshit? But credit where it's due, he's really fucking good as Skeletor. And really, the whole cast here is solid. And I did make a comparison that Idris Elba as Heimdall walked so that Idris Elba as Man-at-Arms could run. They fill a similar role, but here, again, Heimdall is largely super serious, and there's comedy comes from how serious he is, but here, it's a very different character and a much more nuanced take. Well, I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, but really the whole cast here is great. The visual effects, more or less seamless. There weren't any big issues with the VFX that I could see. The action is solid, the writing is good, characters get development and all that. Yeah, the score is 4 out of 5. Number 2 is 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. I very much liked 28 Years Later, but it did very much feel like part 1. And so that's part of why this movie is better, but also this movie is just better overall. We get more depth to the characters. There is something deeply, darkly hilarious about the fact that the alternate history caused by the events of 28 Days Later means, basically, so 28 days later, 28 weeks later, the outbreak started to reach France and then they nuked it. So now, since then, the outbreak has been contained to England. So the rest of the world has continued advancing. So now the rest of the world, they acknowledge that the rest of the world has smartphones and shit like that. And the people in England are like, what the hell is this? Because they're still stuck in the early 2000s, but with most of that technology having run dry years ago. Sorry, the darkly hilarious part is the fact that because of the zombie outbreak, it was presumably never discovered that Jimmy Crystal was a rapist piece of shit. So there's an entire little mob cult group who have modeled themselves after him. And oh my god, the fucking irony is just 10 out of 10 no notes. Ralph Fiennes gets him a bigger part this time around, and how has this man not won an Oscar yet? I'm seriously asking, how has he never won an Oscar? Jack O'Connell is great. Alfie Williams he was good in 28 Years Later, but he's better here. You can tell he's improved a bit. Out of the rest of the little cult, Erin Kellyman is the main one who stands out. She's really good. Building off of, we don't really return to the little island colony. It is purely set on mainland England, and it's more of a self-contained story, and it's not perfect, but the scares work. When we get action, it's good, and there's even a bit of realism when Spike is being inducted into this cult. For whatever reason, Sir Jimmy Crystal, as he calls himself. His real name is Jimmy, but he's modeled himself after Jimmy Crystal. Jimmy, the lead Jimmy, for whatever reason, he will only allow a certain number of followers. And so he has Spike fight one of the others who is being antagonistic towards him. They give him knives, and this older kid eventually tosses his knife away and just starts pummeling Spike. Just starts beating him, and is taunting him this whole time and bullying him.
Fucking prick.
You're taking the piss.
Don't fucking you worry about that, Jimmy. I plan to. I'm just messing with you, kid. Go on, kid. Go on. Take it. Pick it up! Too slow, pal.
And so finally, Spike literally just gets in one good blow and severs his femoral artery.
I could do this for fucking hours.
For fuck's sake, just finish it. He's half your fucking size.
I tell you what, after I'm done with this little prick, how about me and you? Fancy that?
Oh, fuck.
Oh. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, no. That's you fuck, Jimmy.
What do you mean?
That's an artery, is it there? Aye, yes.
And that's it. He promptly bleeds out right there in the pool. None of these guys are medical professionals. He's fucked. I love that realism. My score is 4 out of 5. Finally, number 1 is Crime 101. This is how you do a fucking crime thriller. Much like what I was talking about with The Rip, this is mostly a thriller. It's mostly about the tension and the characters, and then there will occasionally be action. And it works phenomenally. This comes to us from Bart Layton, the director of American Animals, and I haven't seen any of his other stuff, but this is fucking fantastic. It takes certain elements that are present in many crime thrillers, and it plays them a little more realistically. Like, Chris Hemsworth plays Mike, who is this well-dressed lone wolf criminal who pulls off these heists, essentially. But it's that's played out realistically. He's a loner. So, like, when he's on the job, he's confident and he is smooth. But outside of that, in his personal life, he is an awkward mess. With, like, minimal social skills.
I was a kid, I dreamt about having a Mustang.
Like Steve McQueen.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve McQueen. It's funny, a guy your age wouldn't normally know who Steve McQueen is.
I grew up watching those movies.
What's your favorite?
I'd say, Bullet, you know, the chases.
Yeah, mine's Thomas Crown Affair. McQueen plays a high-class thief.
Woman rear ends him, and then later he texts her, hey, you want to go get a dinner? Sure, why not? And it starts out, like, they go to this fancy restaurant, and she's like, okay, wow, this place is fancy. I would never go here. And she's like, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never been here before. I just brought you here because I thought this is where people go. Do you want to go somewhere else? Yeah, let's go somewhere else. And, like, she literally has to resort to doing an internet quiz to learn more about him, because he's so fucking awkward. But, like, clearly there's something endearing, she finds endearing about him that she feels is worth the effort. And, oh yeah, that's Maya, played by Monica Barbaro, who I think the only other thing I've seen her in was Top Gun Maverick. She was solid there, and she's better here. Halle Berry is great, Barry Keoghan is great, Mark Ruffalo is great. And Mark Ruffalo is also a more realistic take on, like, that sort of grizzled detective where, yeah, he's right, but he also kind of alienates people, including his partner. There's a more realism with, like, police corruption, where, like, initially, so Mark Ruffalo witnesses another cop killing a criminal and then planting a gun. He doesn't actually witness planting the gun, but, like, there was no gun, and then all of a sudden there's a gun. And at first, it seems like Mark Ruffalo's partner is going to back him and be like, no, this is what happened. And then it turns out, actually, no. Mark Ruffalo is the only one who cares about what really happened. We have Halle Berry as Sharon, who, like, works, it's like insurance or some sort of protective thing. Like, she's trying to get land this wealthy guy for in his wedding for protection or, like, secure. I don't remember if it's security or no. I think it's insurance. No, it's insurance. She is dealing with the fact that she is like, okay, Halle Berry is 58. Her character is 53, but she doesn't look a day over 48. But she has to deal with a sexist, ageist boss who, like, she's trying to become a partner at this firm, and he just keeps dangling the carrot in front of her and then pulling it away because he has no intention of actually promoting her to partner. He and the other partners, they have no intention. And so this whole thing comes together. It all comes together insanely well. And it's tense. It is funny. Yeah, it's fantastic. That's not even getting into the absolute insanity that is Barry Keoghan as Orman.
Who are you working for?
Aye?
Who are you working for?
Go away. Well, you know, I'm
I'm pretty much in between positions right now. Yeah. I'm looking to pursue a career in hospitality, so I'm gonna...
What did he tell you to do? Who are you working for? Answer the fucking question.
Don't touch me.
Answer the fucking question. Fucking around, huh?
You wanna kiss me?
What did he tell you to do?
You wanna kiss me?
Huh? What did he tell you to do?
My score is 4.5 out of 5. Hey everyone, what are your favorite movies of the year so far? Let me know down in the comments. Like and subscribe and all that. If you don't like the video, tell me why. Try to be constructive. And then, subscribe anyway. You'll be notified when I upload a new video. Watch that and tell me why that one sucks. Or maybe where I've improved. That's all for now. Stay safe in these crazy times.